women.
This is insane!
Oh, yes.
There's no words there.
Coming to you live from Arcane Sublevel 7, It's Talk is Cheap. Now here's your host, Dan Hohlfeld.
All right, go.
Welcome to Talk is Cheap, where cheap is talk, and talk is cheap, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Dan Hohlfeld. Thank you so much for joining me on the K2D4 network. Bit of a cold one here in Wisconsin. We're at, what are we at? -2 right now. -2, and the high tomorrow is going to be like in -13. It's like, but we'll muddle our way through it here. Of course, thanks for joining me live, folks. This show is live every Tuesday, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern, and 11 a.m. Pacific. I got the chat over here. You can join me. If you'd like to talk during the show, give me some tips. And later on, I want to open up the phone lines, have people call in if you wish to participate in the show. Always like to hear from you. This is the first time again, folks, back on YouTube after 3 months, 3 whole months. You know, it was a long time coming, but we're back, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. And we are simulcasting also on Mixer and Twitch. So if we do go down again, folks, on YouTube, you can get us over there and catch up with us live over there. And of course, the full podcast is always available on your favorite podcasting platform, so you can listen to us while you're on the road. A big show here today, folks. A lot to cover. I want to get into the admission of voice-to-head technology. I've talked about this in previous shows before, where like the voice of God technology now it's starting to be admitted to the public. I want to go through some blood transfusions, no longer for the super elite. Hey, Chad, thanks for joining us. I see you in there. And I'm going to talk about the Space Hotel. That was given to me a tip from the audience. And we're going to go under the 38 topics under the AATIP program. This stuff has been admitted now. And this is some pretty crazy stuff. And then I want to get to your phone calls after that. Hey, Carl. So, yes, I want to talk about, before we get into all that, I want to talk about some YouTube censorship, because this has actually hit me now. So it starts to hit home. It's like, oh crap. I've had people, my viewers, say, you know, I'm not getting my alerts for when you're live, or not live, excuse me, when you put a video out. I was like, well, you know, I know YouTube was clamping down, but now I've noticed a drop in the viewership. And now what it is shadow banning people. Shadow banning is becoming more mainstream by YouTube, and now it's been admitted in The Guardian. YouTube vows to recommend fewer conspiracy theory videos. YouTube will recommend fewer videos that could misinform users in harmful ways, the company announced on Friday, in a shift for a platform that has faced criticism for amplifying conspiracy theories and extremism. Excuse me a minute while I shut off the heater in here because that wrecks the audio. Excuse me, folks. I was scrambling before to start the show, because when I was putting in the info on the bars, the dang video goes out of sync, and no one wants to watch a video out of sync. Hey, Angela, thanks for joining. Terry, see you guys all in here. So yeah, so I want to talk about the shadow banning. Now it's PewDiePie has also said it's affected him, and he came out with that 2 years ago, I think he wanted to say about it. Now it's actually, YouTube's just finally admitting it is what this is. So what this is so you're on YouTube, you got your page, you got your videos, and on the right side there, you got your recommended videos. Now they're not going to recommend like conspiracy theory stuff. And this is really hitting home, because YouTube was a great platform. You think about a topic, you type it in, you're watching something, and it leads you to another topic. Just boom, 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 boom. All of a sudden, you start knowing things. It's like, wow, I never would have came across this stuff before, thanks to YouTube's recommendations. Well, that's gone now. So it says YouTube directs people to potentially harmful and false content that they would not have otherwise sought out. The company did not provide a clear definition of what it considers to be harmful misinformation, but said that some examples were videos promoting a phony miracle cure. Yeah, you mean something that actually works?
Oh, yes.
claiming the earth is flat or making blatantly false claims about historic events like 9/11. Oh, you mean some actual truth? We think this change strikes a balance between maintaining a platform for free speech and living up to our responsibility to users. And they talk about Comet Ping Pong, all that stuff. This is coming. They're bringing the axe down. I still look forward to the day when we can actually get a competing platform. Now, there is other platforms out there. I like BitChute, but they don't have the monetization thing like YouTube. People like to, make it into, you do videos. It's nice to get a little income back. But BitChute doesn't really have that. So there is really no competition with YouTube. Everybody, if they want to watch a video, what do? They go to YouTube. It's just, it's muscle memory now. So are things going to change? I don't know. We definitely need some change. But let's go ahead and roll on to our next topic, folks.
Arizona.
So this was brought to my attention by the username Anonymous Guest. 2 more bills. I put up that bill the other week about the tax, getting rid of the IRS. We got 2 more bills here that I thought I would mention to you guys. This is H.R. 24, Federal Reserve Transparency Act of 2019. Now, what this is going to do is basically kind of do a little audit here of the Federal Reserve, which we always kind of needed, because obviously they don't want this, because if this comes out, it's going to be like, oh, they got something there. But I thought I'd mention this. Look at all these co-sponsors. They have, I believe it's 38. No, excuse me, 58. So this has a good chance, and they're all basically Republicans, of course, of going through, but we're going to need that bipartisan support now that the Dems got the House. So that's going to be very interesting. That's one to keep an eye on there for you folks. I also have another one here, H.R. 204, American Sovereignty Restoration Act of 2019. So what this will do is basically get us out of the United Nations. And there isn't a whole lot of sponsorship on this one. We got 2, so that one's got a long ways to go. But the audit the Fed one does look promising. So I thought I would just bring those to your attention, folks. Very interesting stuff to keep an eye on of what's going on. All right. Here's some soft disclosure. Well, soft, what is soft anymore? Some disclosure in your face. Now, I've talked on previous shows about the voice of God technology where people can beam thoughts to you. And this stuff was back done and admitted in 2007. But now we got the Daily Mail coming out here admitting the laser gun that can beam audio directly into someone's ear across a noisy room.
Yeah.
Breakthrough could have dramatic effects on everything from warfare, allowing messages to be sent to troops to be heard across noisy rooms. And they have done this with troops. They've done it in the Iraq War. We come over here to this. This is Wired. The voice of God weapon returns. And it talks about them using this voice of God technology, so where they put the voice of Allah in people's heads. And it would make them, you could act like your God, say, lay down your guns, surrender, and they're going to do it. And the fact over here, now we got them admitting it. Researchers have revealed a radical laser gun that can beam audio directly into a person's ear across a room. Researchers from Massachusetts Institute of Technology Lincoln Laboratory have been able to transmit various tones, music, and recorded speech at a controversial volume. And signals can be heard at a distance with a transmitter, or you can do an individual or multiple individuals. And they're saying that this is commercially available equipment. And they can believe it can be scaled up. Of course it can be scaled up. This is what I wanted to really point out here, folks. We hope that this will eventually become a commercial technology. Why would they want to commercialize it? Think about this. Think about a world where you're walking on the street in front of a store. They got this transmitter. You just walk right in front of it, and it says, come in for a free cup of coffee and then get the other one half off or something like that. Or buy one cup of coffee, get a free one. This will just be like sabotage of your thoughts. And then they could also do something like if you have a perimeter for property, think about that. They could put 2 transmitters, and once you cross that boundary, say, hey, you're trespassing, get out of here. Keep it on repeat so it drives you nuts, so you'd basically have to leave. People patrolling the property could have like a button on or something carrying with them to deflect the signal, and then it won't affect them. This stuff is really crazy when you think about how this could be used. And now that it's becoming public, it's like, okay, they want to bring the public in on that. So we got another article. Let's move on. Yes.
Do it now.
8K. Oh man, this is so sick. 8K a liter. Strange new startup harvests young blood to sell to the rich. It's like you hear about this stuff from higher level politicians, like, okay, these guys drink blood, they do all this sacrifice and stuff, and now this is starting to become mainstream. Yeah, this is only like a blood transfusion type thing, but just the implications of this just makes me sick to my stomach. A Florida-based company is attending to combat the aging process by harvesting the blood of young people and transfusing it into patients 30 years old and above in dubious new fad sweeping the U.S. The name of the company is Ambrosia, and that was founded in 2016. Already established transfusion centers in 5 cities: Los Angeles, Tampa, Omaha, Houston, and San Francisco. $8,000 for 1 liter and $12,000 for 2. Donors range in age from 16 to 25. Roughly 150 patients aged 35 to 92 have reportedly undergone the young plasma treatment. Oh, it's so sick when you think about it. Benefits are renewed focus, better memory, sleep, and improved appearance and muscle tone. Oh my god. This is freaking disgusting. And blood transfusions are listed as off-label treatments by the Food and Drug Administration, meaning they are approved as intended, but may also be applied as unconventional treatments without the need to demonstrate any of the purported health benefits listed. So now they kind of get rid of checks and balances, but is the FDA really that good of a check and balance? Probably not. I don't think so, folks. So UC Berkeley researcher Irina Conboy, she basically says it's likely to cause bodily harm. It's well known in the medical community, and this is also the reason we don't do transfusions frequently, that in 50% of patients there are very bad side effects. You're being infused with somebody else's blood and it doesn't match. That's, oh god. This is all about like getting it in your face, saying we've done this stuff. They want to bring it public. Yeah, make it casual knowledge so everybody knows what's going on. It's like, okay, then make it a normal thing. It's all the satanic culture of making it a normal thing. Very horrific. Okay. So, with that being said, let's get the hell out of there with that one and go on to the next topic here, folks.
You gotta warn people.
Okay. So this is, oh my god, so in your face when you start looking at this stuff and you know about the secret space program stuff. You look into this, they're just putting it out in your face now. Carried 35 kilograms for hours and barely tired. So this is a new Russian military exoskeleton. And we've heard about this before from some of the insiders that have gone to Mars and had exoskeleton suits, so they were able to carry heavier items. Russian media has released a fresh photo of an advanced military exoskeleton designed to help soldiers carry heavy mortars and fire 700 machine gun rounds without reloading, so they can carry all those machine gun rounds on their back. And the devices have already been used in Syria. The exoskeleton helps soldiers to carry heavy objects as it protects their joints and spine, effectively absorbing most of the weight. Again, you look at this is early development stuff. It looks pretty ranky dank, but give it a few years, they'll polish it out. And what I think a lot of this is like you got the secret programs, you know, on Mars and stuff running, and then they're so advanced, and then you get the civilian population just finally starting to catch up. And that's where we're at here. One officer who had the exoskeleton on carried a 35-kilogram portable control panel that is also 77 pounds, for those who are wondering, for 9 hours and was barely tired. Made out of light metals and carbon fiber, the exoskeleton itself weighs 7 kilograms, enables a wearer to carry up to 70 grams, 155 pounds on a special platform attached to their shoulders. The company notes that it will allow a person to carry heavy weapons like automatic grenade launchers and mortars. Think of the advantage. And they are using it already. Kind of like, so, yeah, we got Chad mentioned a good point here in the chat. He says kind of like, let me enlarge that so we can see the chat a little bit better here. Kind of like Alien, the shipping robot. Yes, exactly. But there's also another movie that I was going to mention here, and that is Edge of Tomorrow. Remember when they're combating these aliens? They're wearing those suits, carrying all that heavy machinery. I would play the trailer here, folks, a little bit, but after I did that trailer for Annihilation, I got copyright claimed, and Paramount Pictures wasn't backing down because they need more money, I guess. So that's the way it goes, that one. Am I hiring? I wish. I wish I had the funds to hire. I definitely would like more employees. Someone in the chat asked, unemployed Mario. Someday, make this a big company. I'd love it. Okay, this one was actually, let's move on.
It doesn't exist, folks.
This one was mentioned to me from a viewer. He actually put it in the comments on the other, God, what was it? The space race video I put out. But I didn't even know about this. So the first luxury space hotel, this thing is going to be launching. Want to see 16 sunrises in one day, floating in zero gravity? Be one of the few to have gazed upon our home planet from space. It only costs you $9.5 million if you can afford to go. So we're kind of talking about super elite rich here. This is crazy. World's first luxury space hotel, Aurora Station. Developed by US-based space station technology startup Orion Span. And now you're going to be up there for 12 days. It plans to welcome its first guest in 2022. The station launch is happening in 2021. You're going to have to go through typically you go through a 24-month training program, but they're going to streamline it to 3 months to get up there. And I think there's a video here I want to play in a second. So, you know, guests will also be able to live video chat to loved ones back home, and very high-speed wireless internet access. Can you imagine that? You're out in outer space, folks, and you're like, does it have internet up there? Because what else are you going to do in outer space? You're going to get bored. They got to have internet, so it's like that's something you could actually do on the planet without leaving. But 9.5 million, whatever, you can at least say you did it, right? It's 12 feet wide and 35 feet long. And yeah, where's that video? Let's play that video here. I think it was up at the top. Here it is. This is just CGI, of course, but it kind of gives you a visualization. Let me shut that audio off. All right, here we go. So basically, you kind of be just like the NASA stuff. You're just going to be out there. You're going to be floating. It'll be cool to float, but you're sleeping in these pods that they got there. It'd be an experience, I tell you what. But for that price, you're going to have these filthy rich people. So I'm assuming you're going to be with the best of the best people up there. But the only thing I want to point out about this is, you know, it's starting to become mainstream, because I start to doubt a little bit. It's like, well, what's going on? Things are supposed to go fast, and then they slow down, and they go fast, and they slow down. But again, this is the private industry that's going to have to compete here to try to stay relevant. And that's the best part about competition. So yeah, nothing concrete yet there, but I'm sure they do have some development going on with it. All right, I'm going to hit the big topic here for the day. Unemployed Mario. Will it just be used for those purposes? The internet? Or what are you talking about? Doomsday Bunker? Absolutely. I think that Off-World would probably be a safe bet, because actually I want to talk a little bit about some of that stuff on this next topic. The big main topic for today, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and switch over here.
Do it now.
All right, breaking news, kinda. The AATIP research program, so 38 topics that were going on working under the AATIP program. Now this was an FOIA request that was put in by Mr. Aftergood, Stephen Aftergood did a FOIA request because Congress got this list back in January of 2018. So he put his FOIA request in August 15th, and now finally January 16th, 2019 is when it was finally released here. So let's go through this some of these topics that they were researching. This is crazy stuff here, folks, and it's now admitted. Advanced nuclear propulsion for manned deep space missions. Pulsed high weapon power microwave technology. Advanced space propulsion based on vacuum. Invisibility cloaking. High frequency gravitational wave communication. Role of superconductors in gravity research. Anti-gravity for aerospace applications. And the list goes on and on. Warp drive, dark energy, and the manipulation of extra dimensions. So, where was that other one here? Laser lightcraft nanosatellites. Quantum tomography of negative energy states in the vacuum. This one here, 37, 38, they're not. So what's going on here now that this has come out? Other people are going to put in more FOIA requests for some specific these topics to get more information on them, but they're not going to be able to put in for number 37, 38 here because this is considered classified. National security stuff. State of the art and evolution of high energy laser weapons. Where have you guys heard that before? I think I told you that on the show. They got these satellites in space with laser weapons on them. And then you have Trump. I presented that clip last week about Trump coming out with space-based weapons, making it normal. Hey, we got these. This is new technology. No, it's not. They've had this stuff for quite a while here. And now that the Fox News has picked up on this too, secret Pentagon projects reveal government looked into UFOs, wormholes, and other bizarre anomalies. Newly declassified documents from the Pentagon reveal that the Department of Defense funded projects that investigated UFOs, wormholes, alternate dimensions, and a host of other subjects that are often the topic of conspiracy theorists. Oh, you mean we're actually talking about something that's real? How many times have you guys been called kooks for this stuff? And now it's finally being admitted. What are they going to do when this stuff actually comes out? Are they just going to move on and just not even acknowledge that we were right all along? The Defense Intelligence Agency released 38 research titles on January 18th following a Freedom of Information Act request. The research was funded by the Department of Defense under the AATIP program, that is Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, with Luis Elizondo headed that up. Some of the more interesting topics include, we went through those already, but invisibility cloaking, all that good stuff you can see there, folks. Stargates, all that stuff. Oh, you mean that? Exactly. So another thing they wanted to do with this was the DOD and the DIA wanted to spin it like we were just going to use this as discussing foreign threats. We don't know if it's from China or Russia, but now Nick Pope said right here, the smoking gun in the paper is the Drake equation, which is used to estimate the number of civilizations in the universe. This supports the suggestion that AATIP was indeed a UFO program, as has been claimed, and not an aviation program looking at aircraft, drones, and missiles. And the guy who put the FOIA request in, Aftergood, Mr. Aftergood, said these are the kind of topics you pursue when you have more money than you know what to do with. Exactly. So Corey Good, you know, love him or hate him, I know there's some people on this channel that's like, oh, you believe Corey? Whenever, you know, he was approached by a whistleblower, an insider, if you will, in December of 2017, and he was given these 2 documents. I didn't even know about this until this last week when I looked into this a little bit. But you can download these. They're PDFs. And this actually breaks down that research a little bit here. Let's go back here to the front. So right here, Defense Intelligence Referendum Document. This was back in 2009. Transversal wormholes, stargates, and negative energy. Now you can flip through this. There's a lot of technical stuff here. And yeah, they talk about wormholes, bending time and space. Really going through this, putting the equations in. Very well documented on how stuff like this would occur. Like, they put some thought into this, folks. They really did. Putting a, what do they got there? A wormhole Stargate in Manhattan. Just theoretically thinking of it, of course. But for them to put that much thought into this. And then there was another one here, which was the warp drive, dark energy, and manipulation of extra dimensions. Same thing again. They talk about, okay, if you're going about at 100 times the speed of light, it would take you 193 seconds to get to Mars. It would take you 36 minutes to get to Jupiter, and so on and so forth. They were planning this stuff out here. They got the diagrams, the equations, some nice pictures to go along with it. This is really interesting. So they're talking about these warp drives. And this one here looks exactly what we see in science fiction. It's got to have that donut shape on the outside of your spacecraft. They're actually saying that's somewhat would be feasible to making some travel, you know, deep spacecraft here. And just to mention Chad here in the comment, he says Bob Lazar mentioned element 115 way back. He indeed did, before it was even public knowledge. So this is definitely a disclosure initiative. You know, are more white hats trying to leak this stuff to get it out? Definitely. But we'll definitely see what the future brings here. I also want to talk about, you know, Laura Magdalene Eisenhower, and this was under Exopolitics. This is Michael Sala's website. He talked about her going into the, she was being groomed to be recruited to go to a Mars colony if there was going to be a catastrophic event here on the planet, if you will. They're still talking about a lot of shifting in the weather, the atmosphere, that, you know, you could man-made global warming or whatever. There's a change happening where the poles are shifting. It's all has a play in it. But they wanted to establish that Mars colony to have a backup plan, which they already got up there, folks. But the fact that Laura Eisenhower wanted to, she came out and said, Hal Puthoff, Dr. Hal Puthoff, I got his bio here real quick. He's in the To the Stars Academy. Oops. And he's got all this stuff behind him, National Security Agency, all of it there. But he was part of the program to get her recruited to go up to Mars and be a part of this break-off civilization. So Hal Puthoff knows a lot more than he's giving off. He's sitting back and acting like he doesn't know what's going on. And then, but he knows a lot more than what he's saying. I just thought that those were very interesting to connect, because Michael Sala always does a great job of connecting this stuff, and they got Robert Bigelow in there. And Puthoff's company with this is Earth Tech International. They're just studying 0-point energy, remote viewing, all that stuff. And now he's just kind of coming out slowly, like with this To the Stars Academy thing. And one thing that Corey Good says here too with these off-world civilizations is oh, we got a super chat. Let's listen in.
Love this channel.
Thank you, Ellis Jones. Much appreciated. So Corey Good was saying they have these breakaway civilizations on Mars. And they sell it to get you to go to Mars. They try to sell you the idea that you're going to go there to a utopian Mars colony. You know, you see the futuristic thing. Life is easy. They got all this futuristic technology. But once you get there, you're basically enslaved. And I mean, where are you going to go at that point? You know, I don't think you can fully breathe on the surface yet on Mars, but it seems like it's definitely clearing up over there. But I just thought that was interesting. This is a huge, huge topic for them to be coming out with this stuff, folks. That it's in your face, 38 topics. People said they don't research this stuff. It's all there and right in your face. So we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, I'm going to open up the phone lines. You guys can call in. If you call in during the commercial break, you won't hear the commercials. I can't get that fed through yet. But if you want to chime in on some of this stuff, please do. By all means, call. I want to interact with you guys.
Have your voice heard today. Call into the show at 1-605-562-0444. Show ID 146509.
Please hang up and try again.
Have a comment, question, or topic suggestion? Call our voicemail at 1-256-510-5234. That's 1-256-510-K2D4.
Right now at the K2D4 Network store, we have exciting new products available. First, get your morning started right with the new coffee mugs and signature stickers. Check out the amazing new beach towel. Show your support for the broadcast, even while you're at the beach. The signature Talk is Cheap pillow, available in 3 colors: white, black, and the signature orange. Keep it simple with the Talk is Cheap poster, the same background that is used in the show. We also have the new Be the Change tee. Give people the reminder that change begins within. All available right now at the K2D4 Network store. Go to k2d4network.com for more.
Big tech giants are censoring people's voices. Subscribe to our backup channels on BitChute and DTube. Go to k2d4network.com for all the links.
This is Shane Robinson with Unbiased and On the Fence, and you're listening to Talk is Cheap with Dan Hohlfeld.
This message is being broadcast by the Department of Defense of the Republic. At 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, multiple unidentified objects were confirmed to have entered Earth's atmosphere. It is speculated that these objects are of extraterrestrial origin. The broadcast will quiet at this time for your safety.
Broadcasting into the far reaches of the Pleiades.
Welcome back to
It's
YouTube
Talk
Live.
is Cheap.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Thank you, Eric. It's good to be back on YouTube. Yes, back on YouTube after 3 months suspension. How long will it last? Let's just hope it lasts for a little bit longer this time. I mean, I put a lot of videos on private that they might flag again. No, none of these were Talk is Cheap videos. This was a previous program, The Social Fix, where they covered a lot of controversial topics, and now that YouTube's cranking down on those, we gotta watch ourselves. So ladies and gentlemen, the phone lines are open if you want to call in, and I'd love to hear from you. We'll probably be here for another half hour or so. Please call in if you want to give your thoughts on the Corey Good thing, or do you want to talk about the To the Stars Academy? Do you think that's a bunch of BS and you want to vent a little bit? Just keep it clean. Try to make this a family channel here, folks. I would love to hear from you. And let's get in. So this is very interesting. So you guys know Angela Gabrielle. She came on the show, talked about her son being on a new Earth. Very, very strike me as being authentic. I mean, she's seen what she's seen. This really felt amazing. I thought stuff was going to change quickly. But she used to work at a photograph development place. So back in the day, folks, if you don't know, if you're too young, you had to take a picture and then go take it in to get the film developed, and then you'd get your copies back of your footage. Well, when she worked at the store, there was a guy that brought photos in of some Billy Meyer. I wanted to share these with you. She just sent these to me the other day. Very, very awesome photographs for the UFOs. And some people says the Billy Meyer stuff is junk, whatever. This is good. And we knew he had a model. You know, there's that wedding cake UFO that, yeah, he was probably working on a model in his shed, and he put it there to like try to rebuild it. And then they're just saying that he faked the whole thing. But these photographs here, you look on the side. So basically, this guy took a picture of a picture, and then so he must have went to Billy's place, took the picture of the photograph, and then brought it back to Canada to get it developed. But these are some cool pictures, that's for sure. And wow, you know, just it would be. This is Billy Meyer is one of the best cases for photographs, and he even has some video and stuff. I should actually do a breakdown show of Billy Meyer and go into it a little bit because there's a lot there. So yeah, just thought I would show that with you guys. If you guys are going to East SETI, I will be at East SETI week, kind of maybe July, August. We haven't nailed down a date yet. We're kind of thinking in there. She's going to bring a bunch of copies, so I'm sure whoever wants some can get some. It's going to be great. Good conversation piece, especially when we're looking at UFOs out in the landscape there at East SETI, Mount Adams Mountain there. All right, like I said, folks, phone lines are open. Anytime you want to pop in, give a call. I would love to hear from you. But in the meantime, we will go on ahead and cover some other stuff here. So we got, let me play some music to get us excited, huh? Good morning. UFO sighting in London. Mysterious spinning lights cause Londoners to panic. Obviously, that title is BS. And but when you look at the video here, I thought it was, you know, this could be like a spotlight on the ground. Get it full screen here for you, shining it up into the air. But it definitely kind of has that worm effect in the air. It looks, again, the video quality is not that great, but it's just rippling through the clouds. It's convincing. I mean, but it definitely could be some spotlight thingamadoer on the ground. See ya, Angela. Thanks for joining the show. But yeah, take it for what you will. Sometimes some of these things get blown way out of proportion, but I thought it was something cool to look at. I hate these autoplay videos because you don't know if they're going to play the next video. And it does. There we go. All right. Here's a good one. So cloning now. Cloning breakthrough. China clones 5 monkeys, or clones monkey 5 times for sleep research. Scientists in China have successfully cloned a gene editing monkey 5 times in order to aid research in combating insomnia, depression, and Alzheimer's. So in the name of research, and you know damn well, folks, that they've done this stuff already. The monkeys were cloned using the same technique that produced Dolly the sheep in 1996. On Thursday, the news agency confirmed the breakthrough, which has seen the first time multiple clones have been produced from a gene-edited monkey. The cloning took place in order to help biomedical research. I got pictures here, and they look pretty damn cute. I'll give them that. The 5 clone monkeys reportedly shown signs of negative behavior such as sleeping disorders. The clones also display an elevated levels of anxiety as well as schizophrenia-like behaviors. The news follows recent controversy over gene editing human babies, raising questions over biomedical ethics. Here's where it gets deep. Chinese scientists were the first to carry out gene editing on human embryos in 2015, or so they say, because we know that this stuff goes on underground bases. A billionaire Chinese scientist claimed he had made the first gene-edited human baby in November of 2018, is widely criticized as creating mutant babies and raising questions on lax controls and ethical standards in biomedical practices. So this has to do with the CRISPR technology where they're gene editing these things, you know, and you can make them not susceptible to diseases or HIV, smallpox, all that. You can be immune to that. So it can be used as a good tool, but then they worry about the ethnics of it. Excuse me, I can't even say that word. But this stuff has already, the reason I bring this topic up, this stuff has already been going on in these underground bases. You got Dulce base. Crazy stuff going on under there. Some very, very sick stuff. And for this article to say that he could face death penalty after facing corruption charges on gene editing of human embryos, this stuff has already been going on, and this guy is they're gonna think about giving him the death penalty. It's like, come on. I'm not condoning editing either at the same time, but I don't know. Where do you draw the line? This stuff has been going on, so it's just a selective enforcement. Basically, don't let it out in the public, but make sure we can do it underground and do our own thing with it. But I thought that was, you know, that's what I like to do on the show here. Just give you little tidbits here, like, okay, here's another puzzle piece for disclosure. Here's a puzzle piece for disclosure. Just bring an acclamation up. Okay, they have cloned monkeys now. Now they're talking about humans, just acclimating the public, and pretty soon, you know, I'm sure clone human will become normal. That's exactly what they want. Okay. Shall we move on? No calls? Anybody want to call in and talk about some stuff? I'd love to hear from you. That number is 1-605-562-0444. 1-605-562-0444. And of course, caller ID 146509. So China. Do I have that clip?
China
launches an app. I was talking about this the other week about the whole social credit system. Oops. The social credit system that everybody's keeping themselves in check here. So now it goes a step farther this week. See how this puzzle pieces just fall into place? China launches an app that tells you if you are within 500 yards of someone in debt. Holy cow. Like, are you kidding me? Do we make it any more obvious?
Oh, yeah.
And encourages you to report on them if they seem capable of paying up. It appears to show the locations of people who are considered to be in debt. The app is aimed at getting citizens to report on debtors spending too much. So on screen here, for folks that are listening, we got a little radar, and it shows some blips of people. And then it looks like it tells you, oh, these guys are in debt. You better keep an eye on them. Officials in the Chinese province created an app named Map of Deadbeat Debtors, which can be accessed through social media app WeChat. The app alerts users when a flashing... Let me try that again. The app alerts users with a flash when they are within 500 meters of someone who is in debt. It tells you their exact location, but it's not clear whether it displays any of the personal information about, you know, how far in debt they are. All to keep citizens' eyes on each other. It would let people whistleblow on debtors capable of paying their debts. Again, all about control in your face. Let's see if we can keep the public, they keep an eye on themselves, they'll keep themselves in check. That's what it's all about. And that's, you know, all these puzzle pieces launched. The social credit system is a huge, huge blow to humanity when they're going to have to, call, you know, I got to keep that score up or I can't get a loan or I can't get a plane ticket. Talk about affecting travel. It's insane. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's read the chat here a little bit. Thank you guys for joining me. We got Robert Williams. He says, try get Elon Musk or Richard Benson in an interview. I wish I could probably get Elon Musk on. I don't think he'd have the time of day for a small YouTube channel. I'm sure they would love to reveal the truth to gain potential customers. That's okay. Child 7328 says that's why pretty soon I'm dropping this smart dumb phone. Yeah, smartphone technology is great. It's how you use it. I love technology, as you can see. To have this whole setup, I love when things work right. I'm a Mac user. The Mac is so much cleaner than Windows. I could go on and on about that all day. But when it works good, it's very nice. But yeah, your cell phones, of course, they track you. They're gonna know right where you are. And you know, they say the only way to have it not track you is to take the battery out. If you have an iPhone, you can't take the battery out, but if you wrap it in tinfoil, that'll block the signal. So there's a little hacker tip for you. So if you ever need to go off the grid, there's a tip for you. All right, I'm going to hit one more topic. Like I said, if you guys want to call in, by all means, let's have a discussion. I'd love to hear some thoughts on the 38 topics. I mean, people say it's a joke and now it's out. That's huge news. So I'm going to transition on over.
Wild women.
So we're just talking about tech. This is a perfect transition for this because we talk about the flying vehicles now. So ready for takeoff. Your next Uber, electric planes flying at 200 miles per hour will pick you up from a car park by 2023. Uber Air is hoping to debut in the US in 4 years and later fly in British skies. Passengers will be picked up from the top of office buildings or shopping centers. Planes can cover 60 miles on a single charge and then recharge within 5 minutes. So you're going to have this Uber Air. So this is what's interesting about this. These are not going to be autonomous, at least not right away. You would think with the Air, you could easily do autonomy because you don't have to worry about other people getting in the way. Because that's what a lot of these self-driving cars, the reason they get in these crashes because they can't predict what the other person's going to do. Where with the Air, you know, all you'd really have to do is have a way to, you know, watch for other planes and drones and stuff like that. So on screen here, they got a little picture. You'd call the app and you'd go on, like, basically park it in a car park, and then you go on the top, they'd have a landing pad there. And I assume these landing pads will have a charge station right on there because it says they can charge like in 5 minutes. So as soon as it lands, it could charge at these stations and then it would fly you off. I had some breakdown statistics here. So they said if you're doing a regular Uber in a car, basically 25 miles an hour or 25 miles would be $60, and Uber Air would cost you $92 for the same distance. So a little more expensive. You know, how valuable is your time? Would you want to, you know, get there quickly? But the thing is, with these being at drop off at car parks and stuff, you'd have to get dropped off the car park. You know, you're gonna have to get another Uber to get to in front of the building where you need to go. All that stuff. I definitely thought this stuff would have been more mainstream by 2020. I'm gonna show some video here for those that are watching, because this is also part of the future. So we got these propellers. It's got, looks like 3 of them on each side for a total of 6. Or is it 4? I think there was another one in the back. Yeah, there's 3, so 6 of those. So eventually what they're going to do is get rid of those propellers and make it, you know, anti-gravity or electrogravitic stuff. Basically, a nice transition, but they got to get this out to the public first. So now there's this big push to get going on this stuff so they can start making that transition. So this was shown at CES, and they are going to work with commercial pilots, but eventually they're going to have to, commercial airline pilots, but eventually they're going to have to go to the public because obviously of the demand for pilots they're going to need. So right now, it's only going to be in Los Angeles and Dallas in 2023. So there's a long way for growth in this industry, but it would definitely be a futuristic thing. I would definitely like to see things change more futuristically. That's just the way I am. I like technology. I like stuff when it's, you see those futuristic movies and it's like, they look so utopian, and it would be kind of fun to have that. but that's just me. But it's interesting to think about. All right, let's go give a shout out to the chat room here before we close up. Hey, Terry. When I say hey, Terry, she thinks I say, hey, you know what? And she triggers here on my phone. But, yeah. She says it could be people just looking for views or creating a hype on it again. Or am I like, I'm way out of the conversation. But thank you guys for joining me today. This is great. Like I said, this is back being on YouTube again. It's been a little while since I've been on here. It's great to be back. Definitely appreciate the donations. It's much needed now with the channel banning that I'm getting. That's affecting me quite a bit. It's pretty freaky. But, you know, it's kind of like you got to regrow your channel. But how do you regrow it without the recommendations on the right-hand side? So if you want to contribute more to this channel, I have a Patreon open, so that'd be great. 1, 5, and 10 donations are there. I got a couple people signed up. I definitely appreciate that support. It helps drive this stuff forward, keeps me motivated, and definitely if you guys can't do that, share the stuff out. It definitely helps me keep the enthusiasm to keep going here. We also have the Teespring store with merchandise there as well. I got this. I've just been doing a quality check on this. It's a nice iPhone case. I'll probably start releasing this in March or something, but it looks cheaper in the picture than in real life, but it's got a nice gloss to it. Way better quality than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, so I'm going to close out the show, and I definitely appreciate everybody joining me today. Like I said, I'm here every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central. That's 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. With that being said, Dan Hohlfeld, talk is cheap. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Kind of rhymed, I think.